Did you know that nearly 50% of Gen Xers feel unprepared for retirement? That's the headline. So let's talk about that and figure out how we can change that. We are the first generation in the modern era to have to DIY our own retirement income. Earlier generations had the advantage of pensions in most cases, and then, of course, they had Social Security that they could count on. And put those two together, your pension and your Social Security, that was guaranteed income for the rest of your life. In most cases, that was plenty to survive on. And in some cases, some people could survive on Social Security alone. Now we know that times have changed and the cost of living has increased dramatically. And I know that in some situations and maybe some parts of the country, you may still find that you're able to survive on Social Security. But for most of us, that is not going to cut it. And as I was saying, we're the first generation in the modern era to have to think about, will I outlive my savings? Because we don't have that pension or enough Social Security that will last the rest of our lives. We've got to DIY our own retirement income. And 401ks came on the scene when a lot of us were teenagers with our first part time jobs. You probably had the option to sign up for this, whatever, government savings plan for our retirement. And if you were like me, who cares about retirement when you're 20 years old? I mean, that's 100 years away. I need money for today. So, maybe you put a little bit in the minimum just to sign up for it or get the match, or maybe you didn't, or maybe like me, when you changed jobs, you cashed it out and spent it. And it was just like this big savings plan and all this money. You could buy a car or do something else with it. But now, Gen X, we're in our 40s, 50s, and we're staring retirement in the face. And we don't all want to work the rest of our lives. And at some point, we won't be able to work. So now we've really got to face the fact, are we ready? And nearly 50% of Gen Xers feel that they are not ready. So let's talk about how we can change that. Now, I don't have to tell you that the current environment that we're living in makes it extremely hard to save for retirement, for a future that's uncertain, when the present is staring us in the face. And maybe that present is telling you that you've got a lot of debt that you need to deal with, or stagnant wages, cost of living. We know how much that's risen dramatically over the past few years. Inflation, it's still a problem. So, what do we do? How do we fix this problem? Okay, I don't know what current situation that maybe you're facing. If it is debt, then I think that you focus on that and try to get debt free before you retire. And you may say, well, yeah, that sounds great, but that's not the reality I'm looking at. But even if you have to sacrifice saving for retirement in order to be debt free, I think that that is probably more important, to go into your retirement where you're not having to pay a lot of debts. Even if you can get mortgage free, where you don't have to pay that expensive mortgage, then you can get by on a lot less. So focus on those debts. Does it mean that you have to get a second job in your 50s? I mean, yeah, that sounds like a bummer, but I mean, we're running out of time. We've got to get this situation turned around before the next decade is up. Maybe it's FOMO or YOLO that's keeping you from saving for retirement. Maybe you want to spend your money on expensive vacations, and because all your friends are, or everyone else that you know, they're taking trips to Europe, and I know how addictive travel can be. Or maybe it's other experiences, the YOLO, you only live once. But to me, I think in our 50s, we just need to be more boring, especially if we haven't saved enough for retirement. Be more boring in your 50s. Let the other ones spend all their money if they want to. But you've got a different plan. You're going to start focusing on retirement and let them spend their money on those things, and you can just focus on what is the most important thing right now, and that is saving for your retirement. And here's another one, and this one may sting a little bit, but you're going to have to start saying no to your adult kids. I mean, are they going to be able to financially support you in your 70s or 80s when you can't support yourself? Will they let you move in with them when you can't afford your retirement any longer? These are hard, tough questions that you have to ask yourself. And you've got to start saying no. There are a lot of things that they can do to remedy their situation. They're young and they've got their whole lives ahead of them. But in our case, Gen Xers, we're in a different stage of life right now, and we've got to focus on what is the most important thing right now, and that is getting out of debt, saving for our retirement. You have to ask yourself, if not now, when? Now is the time to turn the corner, to make the story of your retirement different today. Today, you're going to look back and know that the decisions you made today made everlasting changes that you will benefit from, and you'll reap those benefits in your retirement to come. So, the key insight here is that it's never too late to make changes. Never too late. Any small changes that you will make significant strides in saving for your retirement. I hope this was helpful to you. If it is, let me know in the comments. I'd love to have you be a part of our community here at this Gen X Life, and I will see you in the next video.